all should try to live our life the best way that we can. So I know we only have one life to live, and we have to live it. Don't even strive on negative vibes, 'cause you won't make it no matter what they say. You should always try to live a positive life anyway. Oh yeah, oh yeah. We only have one life to live, and we gotta live it. Don't even strive on negative vibes, 'cause you won't make it no matter what they say. You should always try to live a positive life anyway. We all know time is running out every day. People don't know that life is not a game that we play. If you're not sure about this test, I want the whole world to think best. That we all should try to live our life the best way that we can. So I know we only have one life to live, and we have to live it. Don't even strive on negative vibes. You won't make it no matter what they say. You should always try to live a positive life. Try to live a positive life. Try to live a positive life anyway. We only have one life to live, and we have to live it. Don't even strive on negative vibes, 'cause you won't make it no matter what they say. We should always strive to live a positive life anyway. Yeah. Yeah, that song was done in 1990 in Jamaica with Jammy's studio, King Jammy Studio. So big up to my brethren, King Jammy from out of Jamaica, long time brethren for many years. He did my whole album in Jamaica, although the full album never came out. But particular songs came out because the producer at the time was my good friend Johnny Wonder, an Italian Jamaican. Well, that's what he liked to call himself. So big up to Johnny Wonder, big up to Jammies. King Jammies, those who don't know who King Jammies was, he's a producer of Beanie Man, producer of Ninja Man, producer of various great entertainers over the years, Josie Wells, Lieutenant Stitchy, so many of the great Shabba Ranks. They've been on all his labels, and people have been on King Damage right there out of Waterhouse in Jamaica. So enough respect to every Jamaican out there in Newark. I have a family out there from out of Spanish Town. Big up. Also, I have family from out of Kingston. Big up. I have family from out of Port Antonio. Big up. I have family from out of St. Elizabeth. Big up. I have family out in Montego Bay, Mo Bay. Big up. A lot of mercy. Yeah, it's your Afro-Cubano Jamaican in the mother flip you building. Mira, blouse and skirt. Yeah, this is where we at. We at King Simon Presents. I call it WSP. That's right. WKIS. No, WKSP. King Simon Production. WKSP. It's like radio, baby, because that's what I used to do back in the day. Got paid the big bucks. I miss those days. That 60,000 a year was good. And I was going up. I was going up the ladder. So, my history, if you want to get part of my history before the autobiography come out, this is my book. No Promotion is Bad Promotion. Just spell my name right. Or No Promotion is Bad Promotion. The revised version is called No Promotion is Bad Promotion and All Publicity is Good Publicity. Just spell my name right. Of course, if you want to get my Numerovology book, my numbers book, it's Numbers Are Simple, People Are Complicated. Yeah, that's a true statement, baby. Numbers are simple, people are complicated. And my children's book. And numbers are simple. Our children's health is important. Numbers are simple. Our children's health is important. All are published at this time with Dr. Laila Africa's publishing company. Him and his wife own a publishing company called Charles Childs Publishing. You could also go to the website, drlailaafrica.com. So as we support the elders, I support the elders. So I publish, I'm one of the first published authors under his company, other than himself. Other than himself, I am the first published, and they take care of me. They send my royalties, you know, and that's why Dr. Africa set up a publishing company, because he was being robbed of his royalty for a good 13 to 15 years from, you know, people that I won't even mention, because I knew them also. I knew that company also, and the people that did that. It is what it is. But Dr. Africa owns his own. Him and his wife own his own. So big up to Dr. Melody every day, all day, and of course. And also Lloyd's books are also under, Lloyd's new books are also under Dr. Africa's and his wife publishing company. This particular one here, because we got Lloyd coming up, that's Lloyd's Book of Numbers. That's one of his newest books, very thick book, very good book. Also, he has Lloyd's Numbers and You workbook. You want to learn the basics of numerology, this is Lloyd's Numbers and You workbook. And this one here is called Lloyd's Numbers and You Relationship Book. So Lloyd has also four books. And his timeless book that's been around for the last umpteen years, since 1980. This book has been revised since the last 1980. Boom. Numbers and You, a numerology guide for everyday living. And we're going to get into some different things with Lloyd Strayhorn when he comes on the Zoom. We're going to get into some different things, because there's certain things that people don't actually look and check out the book about, because what we're going to talk about, I'm going to mention that, but we're going to deal with one of his chapters, which is the secret of thought reading. And we're going to deal with another chapter called Finding Lost Objects Using Numerology. Very interesting science if you understand how the secret of thought reading, and of course how to find lost objects like cards, or if you misplace something. Also thought reading, which usually Lloyd is going to break that down. He knows that better than me, and I'm constantly learning. I'm constantly studying. Anybody that knows me, you know, I wake up sometimes early in the morning. I read. I study, and then I ingest it. I take it all in, then it comes to me intuitively whether I should look at certain numbers, or certain numbers might appear from certain areas. I might be walking the street and certain numbers I notice, and then I know that each time that I'm recognizing these particular numbers, whether it's 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 11, 11, 12, 12, whatever, anytime I see numbers like that, it's all about synchronicity and getting into the synchronicity mindset. So I'm going to put Lloyd's email up here. If you want to send him a PayPal, send him some love via PayPal, no problema. Please do so by all means necessary, my friend. Please do so by all means necessary. For PayPal, it's you can send him some love via PayPal, and use the email. Put that in the description bar right now in the chat. You can use Lloyd Strayhorn. Lloyd Strayhorn at msn.com. Or for Cash App, you can do Cash App, which is Cash App $, Cash App $, of course. Let me make sure we put all of that in the chat. Gotta support the elders, one of our elders in the community that's been doing the work for many years and helping and guiding people with it. Is Cash App is Lloyd, Cash App $ Lloyd Strayhorn. I'll make sure I got it in. Strayhorn. This thing is not okay. It's not. No, got it. Strayhorn. And I got it. And then of course, let's deal with me now. Let's not front. I will not play with y'all. We can go to www.paypal.me/ the Numeroveta. That is me, my friend. I'm the Numeroveta. Yes, I like that name. I'm serious. I have to put in my African language. And also, We could do Cash App with King Simon if you believe and enjoy what we have to offer today in regards to the numbers that we're going to be dropping. You can more than likely send us a donation, as much a love gift, circulate a love gift, because the more you circulate, the more it comes back to you. That's how it's all about. Recognize that your money is currency and it's here to circulate. Don't try to hoard it. Learn how to circulate and watch it comes back to you in abundance. And it has done so for me when I started understanding the science of these numbers. So I'm gonna put everything on here right now, enter, and boom, there it is. That's all the stuff you can send to me and Lloyd and throw us some love any way you can. It's a beautiful thing. It helps out both of us, and it helps you also to do what you got to do to help your family. We're going to give this knowledge. We're going to drop this knowledge today for all of our people. 28 people are already filling up the room good, and we got Lloyd coming in at 9:30. Just want to make some promotion, of course. Those that are in Atlanta or in Stone Mountain, I'm coming to town. King Simon is coming to town. Yeah, yeah. King Simon is coming to town. King Simon is coming to town. Yeah, yeah, yeah. How don't numbers lie when men are reporting them and screwing the numbers around? Well, numbers don't lie. You see, when you have men controlling certain things, you can manipulate senses, you can manipulate statistics, but numbers don't lie when it comes to esoteric and when you deal with the mathematics of it. Because in the purity of numbers, we all know that 1 + 2 is going to be 3, and 3 + 4 is 7, and 1 + 1 is 2, in the purity of it. But when you have people that have control over the computer and know how to manipulate statistics or manipulate certain things like census, because I know they're not calculating, they're giving an estimation most of the time. They're estimating that. So they're estimating that this is the amount of people that lives on this block when everybody does not report their name or put themselves in a census. Let's be real. You got a lot of illegals inside New York City and throughout the world that does not report. But when it comes to the esoteric connection and the patterns of our energies connected to the numbers that we're born under and the names that we're born under, and you'll recognize this in your own family, amongst your friends, and all that kind of. You got your skeptics out there. I love skeptics. My God, I love the skeptics. Yes, man, I love them because in a couple of minutes I could break down their, even if they don't give me their birthday, give me their name. Even if you choose a name out of thin air, the name is connected to you because you chose it. The number, and you'll find that it connects to you in so many fashions. Like I said in a few lectures, I've met women that are born that call themselves Moet and Hennessy. Girl called herself damn their Lexus, and she looked like a damn Buick. How you gonna call yourself Lexus and you look like a Buick? Makes no sense. However, because she chose that name, because she decided to use that name resonated with that person when I asked them their birthday or when I found out their real name. Very interesting, isn't that? Isn't that interesting? So numbers don't lie when you really know the science and the interpretations of numbers and how to use them for your very best and use them to be your very best. And like I do, my form of numerology is numerovation, because when you do a session with me, brothers and sisters, I help to motivate you with those numbers. I help you to recognize those numbers. Also, we're going to talk about this young man. This book here, this was a good friend of Lloyd Strayhorn before he transitioned. This was called How to Win Games of Chance. Very good book. His name was Ken Dixon, born July 6th. And he has receipts in the book on how he won lottery numerous times. In 1 month, that brother won lottery 19 times in 1 month. Powerful. So, hey, we're waiting for Lloyd to get in. It's about 9:31, and we're going to have the elder come in wherever he's sitting at in his house. We had a great meeting today at his house. So him and I got a major announcement to make, probably since retrograde is over. So we could probably talk about it. Yo, get the book. Get the book. The book is called How to Win Games of Chance. If you're into lottery, good book to get. Also, he picks up Miss Gail Howard in this book, who won lottery 72 times. Both of them use numerology, astrology, biorhythms and how to recognize your biorhythms. And this brother wanted, our brother, he wanted and kept it at a low. So he was winning the $1,000 here, the $500 there, the $200 there. He played it low because he kept it low and did what he had to do. Imagine yourself winning it 19 times and winning $100, at least $100 or $200 or $1,000 within 19 times in 1 month. Hey, if you know what you're doing, you know how to make it happen. You know what I'm saying? And you don't want, especially people like us, original people, because people, East Europeans scrutinize us so much. And I'm talking about the negative one. Oh, I think Lloyd coming in. Whoa, Lloyd is in the building. Lloyd, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Lloyd, can you hear me? Can you hear me? You need to turn on that volume. Turn on that volume. Turn on the volume, Lloyd. Turn on the volume. Let's see if you can hear me. Your volume. I need your volume. Woo, the master teacher's in the building. Yes, Lloyd, your volume. Let's see if you find your volume button. You might have to turn up your volume. You turn up your volume. Got that? Oh, you see Lloyd in the building? Can you hear me? Okay, hold on. Let me call him. Let me call him and make sure. Hey, Lloyd. All right, Lloyd is about to get in. Let me just make sure. Okay, let's turn on your volume on your computers. Your volume can tell your volume on either the or go to the there's a volume on Zoom. There's a volume on Zoom. Click on the Zoom volume. See it? Yeah, it says one says mute. It's right at the left side. You see left side of your on the bottom. The one says mute, one says unmute. So you should be able to come on now. Let's get Lloyd in. You see speaker? Yeah. Is the speaker on? Hello.
Can you hear me?
I got you. I can hear you now. I can hear you. Can you hear me? Yeah, there you go. Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, we good.
Hey, Lloyd.
How you said the most interesting day.
How you been, brother? How you been?
I'm fine, thank you.
Well, welcome to the room. Welcome to the room. Welcome to the Zoom room on King Simon Presents. So I can make it familiar with you on radio, like we're on radio. Let's say WKSP.
Yeah, no kidding. You know what I'm saying? So this is interesting, Simon. It's good to be with you this evening.
Yes, sir.
I'm all charged up. We ready to go in terms of what's going on.
Yes.
Now and in the future.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes. But what I wanted to touch on first, my brother, can you hear me?
Yes, go right ahead.
What I wanted to touch on is because I have all of your books here, of course. I got your great one, of course. We got Numbers in You. And I told people this is one of the books to get online right now. Also, I got the one that you got called Lloyd's Numbers and You Relationship Guide. I have that one. Yep. Also, I have Lloyd's Numbers and You Workbook. Got that one.
That's a good one too.
I got the big ass one here, Lloyd's Book of Numbers, a numerology guide for the 21st century and beyond. And you signed all of them for me, sir. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. I forget I write about those things, but it's interesting because you've written several books yourself.
I showed it to him already. It to him already.
Good enough.
But what I wanted to get into, and I want to get into something that you don't usually get into on interviews when I've heard you on Lenny Green or WPLS, because a lot of people just ask about themselves and relationships. But I want the audience to know that in this particular book, you have done things like secret of thought reading in the book, and you have done things of finding objects by using numerology. So please go into thought reading, and how did you come about that process of dealing with secret of thought reading?
Well, as we do, you and I and countless other readers in their esoteric sciences, we are at a point sometimes where we may not have an answer to the question. But for those of us who understand the power of the subconscious mind,
Mm,
the subconscious mind always has an answer.
mm,
And by doing that, when I can't get a answer any question intelligently, because you don't BS people, because people know when you're trying to front, okay?
right,
So we
right,
don't roll like that.
right.
So I'll ask the person to give me a series of numbers. Now, what happens is these numbers actually subconsciously register what is in the person's mind.
Mm,
So if a
mm,
person, so the way I describe it in that portion of the book, in that chapter, if it's simply a yes or no, that's easy. And it's very simple. I'll say to you, for example, Simon, give me the first three numbers that come to your mind right quick. Don't even think about it.
461.
4, 6, and 1. Okay. That adds to an 11 or 2.
Yes.
So no is the answer to the question, or not now. Why?
Mm,
Because it adds to an even number. So even numbers represent no, normally no, not right at this moment,
uh,
where the odd numbers normally suggest yes. So
right.
that's good for a yes or no situation. So in that case,
Mm,
but then you can go deeper, because when you gave me the numbers 461,
mhm,
the first number was the foundation number, which is a 4,
right.
which suggests the person asking it could either been an Aquarius or Leo or Gemini,
Mm,
or born on a date that adds up to a 1 or a 4. The sixth number, the middle number, that's the bridge, that's the link. So it indicates something adjusting around home, family, relationships, something of that nature. But the final number is a 1, which
mm,
suggests that in the final outcome, it's about, making sure you take care of yourself first more than anyone else. It would
right.
also suggest that, again, on that end of the scale, that a Leo, Aries, or an Aquarius could either be a part of the person who has the question in mind. The
Mm,
fact that both out of three of them, two are even numbers, which are the 4 and 6, means a bit of caution.
mhm,
4 and 6 are cautionary numbers. 4 and 6 are very stubborn numbers. 4 and 6, what's interesting? Although 4s and 6 normally don't get along with each other, normally,
yes, sir.
the oddity is they're both slow. They'll rush everybody out the door and they must be the last one to leave. That they share in common. If you ever talk to a 4 or
Uh,
6, they rushing everybody and they're the last one to drag out the door. That is what they do share in common.
Lloyd, what's so funny? When I said that, and you asked me what was the quick number that I said, and it adds up to a number 11. At that point, a friend of mine just came on the line, and she's born on the 11th, which is
Interesting.
interesting. And it just, and that's what
Interesting. See?
'cause I was just thinking about it, because I said, she said, hey, hey. And I was like, she came to mind, and then I said,
That's the
461.
vibe. Yeah. Yeah.
Synchronicity.
And see, because you didn't know what I was going to do,
No, I didn't know. No.
see, it's not planned. Okay, Lloyd's about to ask me some numbers. So what numbers? And then you're thinking, that's the point, because
Okay.
the person don't know what you're about to do.
Right.
That's when you get basically the root number of it. Because it is an 11, it means something of elevation, something of higher mind.
Right.
The master number 11 rules the sign of Leo. Its co-ruler Aquarius. So
Mm-hmm.
there are three indications of an Aquarius energy. So I
Mm,
could say that if I didn't know the person or ask that question, there's a strong Aquarian influence, and you and I happen to both be Aquarians,
yeah, exactly.
and it would just be by coincidence. But that's how numbers work. And because of what we do, and
Mhm.
we do it well,
Yes, sir.
we're able to go into the more deeper sides that people would kind of not look at it in that way.
Mm.
But we see it in the ways that are very amazing. That's all.
And the people that are just tuning in, you see who I have, the renowned, the astro-numerologist himself, one of my teachers, and he's always learning himself, because both of us are teacher students. We
Yep.
always learn, and I learn from him to keep that, always keep open, keep that childlike attitude open to learn. And that's what we're here to share with you as we're preparing for 2020. And because Lloyd is such an extraordinary person, now a lot of people don't know, Lloyd, that your first love was astrology.
Yes,
Yes,
that's exactly right.
please tell them how that came about.
Well, it's interesting. I was very shy in school, and I didn't know, or for some reason, I found that astrology was popular with the girls. So I figured I'd get into some astrology, get to know the girls better. But then I learned about my sign, and I learned about, how dynamic my sign was. All of this led to what is called building my confidence as a young adult going into a teenage and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Well, not young adult, but pre into the 13, 14s, into that teens when you're trying to get your identity. Your
Right.
hormones are starting to change, and the girls will definitely look better than the books. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh. Right,
So
right.
it was at that stage that my curiosity began, and I found that I really, really liked it.
Mhm.
And as I would find out more about myself, I found out when I talked to other people, they too was equally interested in themselves.
Right.
And what I found as I got deeper, that because what will happen is this, Simon, people will say, well, this is kind of like, does it go against the laws of God or religion? And I try to explain to people as simple as I can, the religion is a belief.
Mm.
One belief that one's God is better than another God. In
Mhm.
Christianity, you have, Episcopalian, the Baptist, Protestant, you know what I'm saying? Then you have other divisions, Jehovah Witness, Seventh-day
Right.
Adventists. It's on, but these are beliefs. But what we
Right.
do are scientific, and they're ancient in their Africanness, because this is where it all comes from. And
Right.
so because it is scientific, it makes it possible to begin to decipher, numerically speaking, train what we do.
Mhm.
What drove me nuts was this. When I got deeper into astrology, and of all the sciences that's deep, you can be studying until you like old as Methuselah, you'll still be studying. That's how deep it is.
Mhm.
Um, and what would happen is, especially you and I know that to get a true aspect of a person, you need to know the month, the day, the year, location, and time they were born.
Right.
And that helps you. I try to explain it to this way to people nowadays. It's like you punch in an address, a GPS.
Mhm.
The GPS direction to your direction.
Right.
So when you put in the GPS of your birthday, which is the month, day, year, time, and location, that tells where the heavens were at that point in time on that month and day and time of day you were born. And it's tremendous because the stars are in alignment, the stars are always in constant movement, and in doing so, it aligns out your configurations of how you should be. But what would drive me crazy is a person may say, okay, Lloyd, I know my birthday, and most people are not sure about their time. If you do research, Simon, if you do about 10 people, about close to 6 or 7 don't know the exact time.
Mhm.
Well, I was
Right.
born in the day. Well, what time of
Right.
day? Early day, midday, late day, you know.
Mhm.
Some know exactly.
Mhm.
Um, Whatever the case is, the way hospitals are doing it now, they just give out generic birth certificate. I guess that's for license, social security, whatever purposes. But people need to get an official birth certificate, which lists the time you were born,
Right.
where you were born, your mom and dad, their ages at the time of birth.
Mhm.
It's all this stuff is very, fascinating. And what happens is I would then do this chart that said, okay, 7:53 a.m. And then when I get to them, behold or not, Simon, it says they born at 7:53 p.m.
Right.
Well,
Right.
that's a 12-hour difference.
Mhm.
The planets have shifted greatly over that 12-hour span.
Right.
So thus it is that kind of understanding that you begin to understand the importance. Numerology is extremely simple. It's
Yes.
very beautiful. It's over 90% of it is addition.
Mhm.
1 + 1 is 2. Aha, I got that. The numbers only go from 1 to 9. Aha, I got that too.
That too.
Okay. And that's what got me hooked.
Right.
And I said, man, I can do this. I got 10 fingers, 10 toes. I got 9, I got some numbers to spare up in here.
Right. And
So,
you
huh?
and you actually decided to blend the two together.
Yes, but it wasn't that way at first.
Mhm.
I says, okay, let me go over here. Over here, I found there was a difference. One, I didn't need the birthday. That
Right.
took a lot of pressure off of me because most of the people I dealt with, for whatever reason, didn't know the exact birthday. They always gave me a guesstimate, but they never gave me an estimate exactly.
Right,
All
right,
right.
right, right.
So which was a big difference in numerology, in astrology. Now, there are certain sciences of astrology. If you don't know what time you're born, there are certain, I forgot what field of astrology they're in. They can ask you some questions and kind of narrow it down.
Right,
There's
right,
nothing like knowing your exact time. Numerology doesn't do that.
right.
Numerology also did something else, Simon, that none of the other branches did.
Mm-hmm.
Tarot will deal with your birthday.
Mm-hmm.
Astrology will deal with your birthday. Even palmistry and stuff like that will deal with your birthday. Numerology is the only branch that deals with your name. Here's what I'm saying. Let's say we're doing a show, right, Simon?
Yes, sir.
And we on our Sonetta show, we on whatever show, who cares, you know?
Right. Brother Rich.
Brother Rich's show, you name it. It's just our shows we've been on.
Yes, sir.
And then, so about after 5 or 10 minutes, they were talking about the birthday. Yeah, well, you know, the Aquarius, you know, we're gonna have a great year, so and so and so and so. But then, you know, we do, yeah, Simon, yeah, Lloyd. So you and I know that the name has a reverence unto itself.
Mm-hmm.
It have the reverence of that each letter has a numerical attachment to it that therefore sends off a frequency.
Right.
And so people will say to me, well, I'm born on so-and-so's birthday, and like Tyler Perry's birthday, September 22nd, where the debate is taking place tonight at his studio, okay, the Tyler Perry studio in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
That's where the Democratic convention is taking place.
Oh, that's why he's born September 13th.
Yes, exactly. So
Right,
people
right.
say to me, well, Lloyd, I'm born on September 13th. How come I don't have his money, his fame? Well, maybe he wasn't born on his day. I mean, you don't have the same name. You wasn't born in the same year. You wasn't born in the same location or born in the same environment. Because see, those are the things, Simon, you and I understand.
Yes,
Psychological stress, pressure, those are the things that we're going to be getting into more in depth as we collaborate, as we talked about this afternoon.
Right.
But basically, these things, so you can tell a person they got good numbers, but what are the environments? Love to one person isn't the same thing as it is to another person. I could say I know about love because I came from a mom and dad, brother, sister, all united. We all to this day, you know what I'm saying, like that. Then you can have a person, well, they know the word love, but their environment is totally different.
Right.
Okay. So it's these things that we are taught, as you and I know, to take into considerations too. Some of the psychological issues. So when you put out the most famous book on the planet to me, numbers are simple. But people are complicated, brother. If you ain't lie,
boy,
you never did. Because people are.
Yeah.
That's what we talked about today.
Yep.
You meet a person, they say one thing, then the person goes, they say another thing. Why is that, Simon? Why do we do things like that? Why do we,
Right.
you know, so we can become more normalized. But I do understand, if you and I are of African descent, we have psychological issues. There's no way we can be in bondage for over 400 years, physically and psychologically and emotionally, to not have issues.
Right.
I know I got issues, brother. I ain't gonna front. Any one of you brothers and sisters ain't got no issues, I'm gonna keep my eye on you because there's an issue. We all got issues. You know what I'm saying? My thing is not to let whatever my drama spill over into your drama. Because it ain't like you got your own drama, you know? We all got our set of dramas going on up in here.
Exactly.
So with the numerology and what we do, this is why we're so good at helping people, because we can see through the layers, the invisible, metaphysical way, because numbers act as a guide. So if I want to go straight to Washington, I got to go I-95 south. Any other number I take and go get me there on the fast track. It's just that simple, you know? So, you know, these numbers are a guide in everything we do. So by using it like that, we are able to help people help themselves. We help and understand ourselves, although we're not the best readers in the world when it comes to you and I. But when it comes to helping people, this is what we do. And we try to get people to understand there is a rhythm and a rhyme. There are seasons to life. This is our season. This is our period in this decade of the 20s and 30s, whatever the case is. And we will fulfill our mission. Then our kids will come along. Then the grandkids will come along in their generation. It's a generational thing. It's what we do in this moment of time of the contributions we make to our humanity that makes all the difference in the world.
And you
that's
know,
what we do.
and you know, a lot of people don't realize that we do teach classes. We do teach people to do this, but
Yes,
a
we
lot
do.
of people are not going to pursue it probably the same way we do. There's anomalies that pop out of the communities. Lloyd is an anomaly. I'm an anomaly. Kaya
Yeah.
might be an anomaly. There's anomalies that really, because it does require a lot of study. However, the study leads you to intuition and more downloads start coming, because sometimes you and I have discussed it where somebody may have died or they might, and the first thing we go is consult the numbers. Like, it must be under this number.
Yeah.
It must be under that.
We look at the cycles of life. There's an ebb and a flow to life. There's a season for people born in the country and Caribbean that love their boiled peanuts. Around about now, they're gonna get real scared. So if you got the boiled peanut Jones in December, you're not gonna find nothing up in here, not in New York City. And you know, everything got a seasons. Birds fly to Capistrano, fish swim upstream. And so this is where some of the challenges come in with religion versus what we do. And what I think is interesting, Simon, if you notice, anytime the papers, media talk about astrology, the boo-boo side of astrology, they always get astronomers. They don't get other astrologers. Why do you get astronomers? Astronomers know the planetary angles of the stars and the, you know, the Uranus and all that stuff in the heavens. That's great. But in astrology, we deal more with the signs, the angles, you know, the degrees, other things, cycles and whatnot, how things are flowing. Then we get into numbers, which is the most foundation of them all.
Now, Lloyd, let me ask you, the first time you ever felt confident enough to do either astrology or numerology, what year was that? Because a lot of people think, yeah, numbers is easy and all that, but when you actually feel confident to do it, or even get a donation from it, when did that happen to you, brother? When you first got to do your first session?
I would say it was around 1978.
Wow, 1978. But you've been studying from 69, right?
I said 1978.
You've been studying since you was young, Lloyd. You've been studying since you was young.
1978 works, bro. That works. That's a good number.
Yeah, that is a good number. That adds up to your numbers. Okay, I got it. Exactly. I got it. I got 1978 adds up to your numbers. I already got it.
Here's the thing. You know, when I was growing up as a kid, the rule was you work 25, 30 years, you get your gold watch, your retirement, then you get up out of here.
Right.
But so people think, and especially in what we do, we are in the media business.
Yes.
And this is an age where everybody's got to be young. If you look at some of the ads on TV, they got it now where they've got it aimed at women in their 20s and 30s who still look great, suggesting you get Botox for fine lines and wrinkles. That's how they put it. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, so it's on the youth, but youth and wisdom don't go together. So when you and I have sat at the feet of Dr. Leonard Jeffries and Dr. Ben and all these guys like that, this is like, these cats got like that through years of history. And then the nice thing is when you look at their videos on YouTube, when they were at their real heightened, why they were at their powerful best and why they were the best. These are the things that we're doing in that sense, you know? And it brings about a way of really helping people help themselves. Because when I first got a hold of this, I said, man, everybody and their mother should know this. And that's when I got it, that this is not what everybody's interest is. And that's when I calmed down. I took it easy. For me, it should be in every school. Like when you go to guidance counselors. Well, if you got a lot of ones in your name, you know you don't take orders well, maybe you need to go study law, medicine, or science, or entrepreneurship. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But we, be trying to be where people give you orders because it ain't gonna work because you're gonna tell them where to go. So, but if they had these kinds of things, but not only that, but And probably you, like I, have gotten responses that the most important, some of the most dramatic things people said, man, had I known this a long time ago, had I known this then as
Right.
what I know now,
Exactly.
because it acts as a guide to help you pinpoint your seasons. And this is why I say the religious community, who sometimes think that, you know, what we do is definitely antichrist or whatever the case is, unfortunate. But again, I explain it's because of belief. And in all these belief systems, there are wars. The Irish and the Protestants, you know, fighting Muslims and Hindus, fighting Pakistan and India, you know, in Israel. So it's always, but it's always over religious belief. But you can't find me no war fought in the name of the sign of Aquarius or the sign of Aries or the sign of Cancer. You can't find me one. You can't find me one fought in the name of the number 1 or the number 7. You can't find me one, man. Nowhere in history. And so until people find me a war fought in the name of a zodiac sign or a date of number or number, maybe I'll give it a second consideration. But no, everything evolves around numbers, everything we do.
And you know what you just said is very key, because that's your phone. Go ahead, bro.
No. They gotta wait. They gotta wait. They gotta wait. They
They
gotta
gotta
wait.
wait. They already on you. I didn't even put your number up in there yet. I
Yeah,
just
no, but it's my young man. I really need to talk to him. But
okay.
we please continue.
Okay. What's so interesting, you speak on astrology and numerology, but yet you find that some of the greatest men or women in history were studying astrology and numerology.
Oh yes, yes,
You know, like
yes.
the Hitlers of the world, and of course, J.P. Morgan of the world, and all those great Reagan's wife, of course. But you know,
Napoleon.
and then I have books with men that came out of NASA that was numerologists or worked for the government that are numerologists.
Listen, they sent ships like Apollo. The ship that we saved the astronauts coming back was called the Aquarius. Duh. Then the
Exactly.
car come out called Aries. Then the Ford come out called Taurus. Okay.
Yes.
Then if you go to 660 Center Street in Midtown Manhattan, as soon as you get past all the security checks and whatnot, and you go into the middle of the rotunda, all the zodiac symbols.
Right there. And in most parks, if you go in most parks, you'll see the zodiac wheel in the parks with the north, west, east, south. They have all of that.
And so they knock it. So it's no accident that with practically every newspaper, with the exception of maybe the Wall Street Journal or the New York Times, carries an astrology column.
Right, exactly.
It generates, because billions of people are very interested in it. Everybody's curious about what they want to know, their relationships, what's going on, individual decisions, what the trend of things will be. And like, so we're forecasters. We give a kind of numerical forecast of what's going on with people in terms of understanding their ebbs and flows. As I told you, there's ways in which we evolve how to follow, whether numbers follow them and to what degree, good, bad, or indifferent. So it brings about a certain awareness of things, of how to really, you know, guide people to help themselves. It's a tremendous service, and it's lifelong.
Now, let me ask you, Lloyd. Now, your website is lloyd-strayhorn.com. Is that correct?
Yes, Lloyd, LLOYD Strayhorn, STRAYHORN.
Okay.
.com.
I put it in the chat. I put it in the chat room so y'all can go to his website. He teaches classes. He has Learn with Lloyd Strayhorn or Learn with Lloyd coming up. He got some great online classes about to take place, and Lloyd breaks it down to the very basics, and up to you to go into your enhanced study. And that's why
that's the point.
In our books,
the beauty of the beauty of what we do, Simon, although you're very deep listening to your videos and seeing them, your presentation is very simple.
Yes.
It's the most basic person. Give you an example. When I was first getting into numerology, there's this guy named Joe Christopher. He played for the New York Mets at the time.
Yes, yes.
And he gave a lecture in Harlem. The brother was so heavy, so deep. I came out saying, huh? I mean, he said the words, but he was just so deep. And that's what said to me, when I talk, when I present something, I want to make it very simple that even the person who never heard the subject before become fascinated by what we do. I've never met a person, Simon, when you open your mouth about what you do, doesn't become fascinated by what you do.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
Never.
Unless they're controlled by religion. They don't
Yeah,
know.
you're right. Ding.
Unless they're controlled by religion. I've known family members to burn books. I know a family member, Lloyd. I know a family member that burned all of the numerology books, your book included, and all of the dream books because it got so religious.
Yeah, people something else. They find God and it's a wrap.
Yeah, they burn in everything.
That's a belief, but I'm dealing with a science that's a totally different animal.
Exactly.
Totally different. And if once I get people to see that, they then understand. Because I think, first of all, they think that we're going to corrupt every religious belief. We're going to transform them into an omen or something for 666. None at all. It has nothing to do with the way you think, your philosophy. It has nothing to do with your gender, your lifestyle, or LGBTQTB, whatever. It has nothing to do with that from our vantage point. And we've read people from all parts of the human spectrum, knowing you and I.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? And it is not our job to stand in judgment, but to help the person help themselves.
That's right.
Because all of us are human. No matter what lifestyle people choose, every one of us, bottom line, is human. We got feelings, we got hopes, doubts, fears, old sugar, honey, iced tea moments. You know what I'm saying? Listen.
Exactly. Hey, Lloyd, I wanted to mention something else that you mentioned in your book, especially dealing with biorhythms and games of chance, but also this man's book, How to Win Games of Chance. Now, tell us a little bit about him, because he transitioned some years ago, and tell us a little bit about Kenneth Dickinson. What type of person was he?
Ken Dickinson, I got to be honest, was a very unique person. He was a Cancer, born July 6th.
Yes.
And he would do things with auras.
Yes.
And he developed what is called a Crillian camera, where you would put your finger inside of his camera, that it was constructed. It would be considered crude, but by today's form, they probably slick it all up, but he put his hands in there and he could take a snapshot of your energies and read your aura. The most amazing thing. And then he went on to talk about numbers, how numbers followed him, and this, that, and the other. And it was just a very interesting thing to experience. And then he would deal with he developed stones where you throw them. He was an inventor as well as a metaphysician. I would say that.
Yes, I see that. Right. And I know he used to be on your show frequently also.
Yes, I would always have him on my show. I would always have, you know what it was, Simon?
Right.
And of all the years I was on the show, and of all the people I've had on the show, I only had one person that wouldn't come on because they thought it was a catch. And here was the catch. When you come on the show, explain what you do, share with the listeners, whatever you make, that's between you, God, and the Internal Revenue, and that's it. He just knew there was a catch. No, man, you don't get a piece of this, But see, they don't know is by me being on the radio show there by not accident, but how things work, and on being on Felipe Luz. I'll think of his name in a minute. But being on his show, his mother called in. I read it on there, and she says, you need to take him in. I'll think of it in a moment.
Felipe Luciano? Not Felipe.
No, not Felipe Luciano, but Felipe Gomez. I'll think of it in a moment. That's embarrassing. But the point is, he took me into the back after the show, and that's how I got my show, and that's how everything got started.
Okay.
And it just blossomed into something that went beyond my wildest dreams. I found that numbers always act as a guide for people. It helps people, as you and I know.
Yes.
What is it? Not only that, but it helps us grow too. And that's a nice thing about it too.
But people that are tuning in, you see who I got here with me. It was eventually when I got the Zoom linked up, I knew I was gonna pull him in.
Yeah, this is nice.
When I had a meeting with him, but I seen him a couple months, like last year, with my cousin-in-law, big up to Monique, Brown Mackenzie, and she was online with him, and she used to write. She wrote a book on fibroids and all that kind of stuff, and she went through all of that, which is interesting to me. But you know, Lloyd, as we've gone into these studies, the predictions that you've made about Obama and the past presidents for the last many years that you've been in it, we're going into this 2020 energy. We know what it is, all right,
Yeah.
as far as coming from both of our perspectives. What are you seeing in this 20? So what is the high and the lows of this 2020 from your interpretations of the numbers?
Well, you and I know that the year 2020 adds up to a 4. And 4 is what is called normally the revolutionary number, the underdog number, the number of the odd and unusual, sudden and unexpected.
Yeah.
It's a number that will benefit Aquarians primarily, with this being the age of Aquarius primarily. And so it's going to be that kind of year, but it's going to affect people in ways that are, if not planned well, things that are out of the blue, things are totally like surprising and unexpected, so to speak.
Right.
And things that deals with anything dealing with the mechanical, mathematical sciences, computers, technology. I would say the computers, phones, TVs, computers, all of that's going to be at a whole nother level by this time next year. They're going to be synthesizing things. Notice how now I can be, there was one time, as you and I know, in the early days of our radio experiences, Simon,
Right.
where you had to be in studio to sound like you were there.
Exactly.
That's not the case now. The technology is, I can be anywhere and I'm sounding good no matter where I am.
Exactly.
So is the technology. Well, I'd expect the technology to enhance. And since 4 governs those that represent work and effort and energy, those that put forth their best will receive their best. It's like said, did you send a ship out there? You can't expect the ship to come back, Simon,
Right.
if you don't send them out there. It's just that simple. So that's the kind of year this is going to be for people. If you make the effort, it will return to you in kind. You don't make no effort, don't expect nothing to be on the horizon coming your way. So it's pretty much like that. So other than that though, you'll find that this year, and you know, the term 2020 came from a comic in California back in 1947, where they said that hindsight was 2020.
Right.
It was some little thing. I got the guy's name. I'm not familiar with the name. It's such an odd spelling to his name. But supposedly he is credited with the word hindsight as 2020. You and I know something else different. True. A couple of things happening. It symbolized we are the starting of the new decade, of another decade, in this case, the 20s. That's first of all. It indicates that we got a number that will repeat itself only once, a 20 and a 20.
Yes, sir.
It ain't gonna be 2021, 2022, whatever, 2029, and be 2030. This will be the only time this number will repeat itself, 2020. We know that the compound number 20 is called the awakening. It's a definition taken from the tarot. And it's a picture symbol of a man, a woman, and a child, as if ascending to the heavens, raising their consciousness and awareness.
That's right.
They're you know, bringing to people light. You know, it's like the elders say, I could make the, you know, you can bring the horse to water, but can you make him drink? Is a whole nother situation. So it's kind of like that energy we're in. But for those that know about hindsight being 2020, it gives them a good chance to reflect on what they did.
Yes.
Reflect on the things they should have done, what they didn't do, maybe why they didn't do it. So when they move forward, they begin to move forward with more enlightenment and revelation. And that's where we come in, because you and I and astrologers act as guides to, but see, we do something that even astrologers don't do, as far as I know.
Right.
We're able to tell people what days of the week belong to them. I don't know astrologers that do that. Next time, ask an astrologer and ask, does he do that? Okay.
Right. Okay, I will.
We also know what dates within the months
Yes.
that are good for them as well.
That's right.
And we also know what months in the year that are good for them as well too.
Exactly.
Astrologers don't do that. They will tell you what the configurations are, little things like that. But you and I can plan things. Of course, what helps is by astrologically understanding what is called the planetary hours. And the key digits are always at, 6, 1, 3, and 8. That tells me once you know what the days are, it can tell you what the planetary hours are. So there's a lot to understand to astrology, but numerology is so simple, yet amazingly, amazingly accurate. So then the question is posed, Simon, and you'll hear, well, which came first, brother? Astrology or numerology? I asked you, Simon, what do you think?
If they got to use numbers to get to where they got to go, the numbers is the deal.
That's why you my man, okay? Exactly. How in the hell you gonna get a birthday, brother, if you don't know the number of the month, the number of the day, the number of the year, the number of the time you were born? Then they need to know the longitude and the latitude, which are in numbers, to figure out where you were born on this place on the planet at that time of your birth.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? So numbers had to be here first.
Right.
And yet it is the least popular of the two.
Yes.
Now, you know what's interesting? Let's say you run into an atheist or a person that feels what you do goes against the laws of God and they don't believe in astrology. You say, do you know your zodiac sign? They say, yeah, I'm a Capricorn. They'll say without even thinking about it. So for they who don't believe it, they can also take their zodiac sign. Try it out one day. You'll see.
Right. Yes, I think I better. We're gonna have to do that.
yeah, because but again, there's this controlling of things, and when you talk about people that did astrology, like not only Hitler, Ronald Reagan, Napoleon, and you got people before then who used the notion of the stars to find out what was going on. It is a very, very ancient African science. So yes, we use the Pythagoreanism, but at the same time, it has to be understood that Pythagoras studied in the land of Kemet or Egypt for 22 years and developed being the father. So I would say it had to rub off from somebody. Right. Feel me?
Exactly.
That's all I'm saying.
And let me give Lloyd's people, if y'all want to do a session with Lloyd or myself, but let's deal with Lloyd. He has a 1-800 number. I have it right here. 800. Hold on, I'm gonna put it in the chat. Lloyd, it's 800
581-4401.
581.
Yeah, 581-4401.
4401. Right, and I got that. There it is. I got it up there for you. Yes, that's his 800 number. That's 800-581-4401 if you want to do a session with Lloyd Strayhorn. Me, if you want to do a session with me, I'm going to put my number over there. You can text me your full name and date of birth to 347-496-1022. That's 347-496-1022. I think my thing is buffering right now. You can hear me, Lloyd? You can still hear me?
I hear you very well. Simon.
Now, what's so interesting about that 2020, how you said the awakening, and of course, but also paying attention, if you remove the 2 zeros, you got the 22 there.
Sure.
Also comes with that delusion on the negative, delusions or illusions if people don't pay attention, especially using the computer or technology that they might be throwing at us. Because we're in a military United States, and we know that they play chess all the time. So as they play chess, we know that they will throw something over here while they're doing something over there. So it's an impeachment thing and all this grandeur stuff on all the major channels. What else is happening that we don't know about?
And you know what is a perfect illustration? If this is what we know and this is what we're doing, imagine what the military know that we don't know what's doing.
That's what I'm saying.
Because they're about to come out with the 5G, they probably working on the 6G. Okay.
Right.
So, you never know. But we're entering an age of technology, but the point is we're reaching a point of elevation, and you will find that those are more peace like-minded, despite the ugliness. And I guess maybe one of the missions of Trump, the president, is to bring out some of the ugliness in this country, some of the sores in this country, so it can be dealt with and resolved. But the power of love is very, very healing. And that might sound corny to others, but if you notice, people are rebelling in China because C2 ruled the masses. And we're in the 21st century, which is the period of 2000. So such as the masses here, the masses in Ecuador, or wherever it was in Venezuela, or something like that. So you're going to find the masses beginning to well up against things that are like, yo, man, that's not correct, you know? And also you're going to find too, there's going to be some more parity with things where you have a person that heads a company walking away with millions of dollars, and they don't want to pay a person $12 to $15 an hour. Now they said they'll give it to you in 2021, okay? Now in 2021, do you think food is still going to be the same price?
Of course not.
You think rent is going to be the same price?
Nope.
You think bread is going to be the same price? Candy's going to be the same price? Soda, you know? So to me, people begin to pick up on that, Simon. That's what I'm saying. And so it's not about, okay, we're going to wait until then, as we need to do so now. Another thing you're going to start hearing is not a minimum wage, but a living wage. That's a big, big difference. Because even when Malcolm X went to United Nations, it wasn't about just civil rights. It was about the human rights. So no matter where you are on the planet, you are human. And so this is where the trend of things is going to go. It's going to start picking up. Okay, this minimum wage isn't cutting it. People got 2-3 jobs, man, having to leave their kids at home, accidents happening to them, all kinds of crazy things, and they're trying to make ends meet. And they find they're working just to pay their rent or whatever the case is. Now, the people high up in the castle, this, you know, is nothing to them. It's inconsequential, and rightfully so. Because when you got it like that, you ain't thinking about, you know, I got to get some food. I had a woman this morning call me today, a client, because the food stand's been cut in half. And especially Thanksgiving is next week, which is interesting. Why would you do that on Thanksgiving coming up? Everybody knows that, you know, because you see all the images and promos about Thanksgiving and family and turkey and this, that, and the other. Why would you cut people's food stamps at this point? So people are going to get away from that and start dealing with the human things of it. What does it cost me to really live up in this joint? Okay. Not minimum wages where I'm scraping and scrapping and, you know, just doing it. Cable is expensive. Phones are expensive. Rents are expensive. And people who work in, you know, per hour segments know that it's not easy out here. And that's where you're going to find the trend things going. It's going, 4 is a revolutionary number, and there's going to be a revolutionary conscious of mind, because it's not only 2 to the 10th power, but it's 2 to the 10th power repeated twice. And so that hindsight is going to be more futuristic, and you're going to see things. And so it's no accident that of all the candidates, you got at least 2 to 3 or 4 women. At one time, 5 women running for the presidency, all at the same time. Not just a Hillary running against a Donald Trump back it was in 2016. So you got a lot of people up in the flavor. But when I was on Rich's show, I was explaining that Elizabeth Warren, born on the 22nd, will probably go up there, and she's right now the biggest donation getter. She's ahead of Biden, and she happens to be going into the year that when you reduce it adds up to 22. I can't take anything right now. So anyway, that's what's happening at this point. So anyway, though, Simon, it's just running my mouth, but there's a lot to talk about. This is such a fascinating thing that we do.
And it was so interesting. We know, you know, by studying people like Biden's birthday, because his birthday is today, right? November 20th.
Yeah, November 20th. Today's his birthday. Exactly right.
And today is his birthday. So it's interesting with Biden because you see, we
Oh, you
now
know whose
know
birthday is also today too?
who.
This guy named Bolton that was fired, that's controversial.
Mm,
The guy with the
mm.
heavy mustache, the heavy
Yes, yes, yes,
mustache.
yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes.
Bolton, I forgot his first name, but today's his birthday too, which is
And
interesting.
so you know, Biden is not like right in his 7 year cycle, is go, you know, he's in his 7 year cycle, which is quite interesting because a lot of secrets are coming up and
Yep,
being
yep,
revealed
yep,
about
yep.
him because that's the seven energy. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
And now the whole thing supposedly it's the secret about Biden and his son.
Yeah,
Much to
exactly.
do about nothing, but it's a
Right.
distraction, which is it.
Distraction, the
Yeah,
delusions, the
yeah,
illusions they're
yeah.
casting out there. So, man, it's gonna be an interesting time. But I keep on telling people because the number 2020 adds up to a 40, which is a 4. Put it like that. We got to pay
Correct.
attention to our mentality and protecting our mind and keeping it at a higher level. And I'm talking to the people out there, especially people born under those mental numbers that can go through depression or worrying because of what's
Sure,
going. It's
sure.
really about listening to motivational people that can keep your mind at a high level. Like I've heard Les Brown and various other people say that according to MIT 20 years ago, in a study over 20 years ago, he says it takes 16 positive to knock out one negative in this society. So we got to constantly bombard our mind with positive stuff when we're feeling down in any way, no matter what you're going through.
But you know what, Simon? That
Yes,
makes sense.
yes,
You can have a person do 25 good things
yeah.
and therefore remember you for one thing you slipped up on.
I told that to
Go
my son.
figure.
I told that to
Go
my son
figure.
the other day. I said, you could be living good with a woman, all this, you did all the great stuff, or she did too. But if you smack that woman once, or
That's
just
it. Forget about it.
forget about all that good stuff you did.
Goes right
If
out the window.
I'm
Yeah.
serious, that's how deep it can get. And I'm saying that because women are very sensitive to certain things, and plus we're in the cycle of the women in the 2000s, so we got to
Yeah.
pay attention
Yeah.
to what's happening about the balance between, because still that number 2 deals with balance, it deals with compassion, and it deals with trying to maintain a balance. But but it is what it is. Do you want to take a few calls, or
Yeah.
what you want to do? You want to take a few calls? I can't hear you. You went dark. Can you hear me? Oh, you froze, Lloyd. You're frozen, Lloyd. I don't know what happened. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Let's see what's happening here. Let's see what's happening. I think Lloyd froze a little. I think Lloyd is frozen. Can you hear me, Lloyd? Lloyd. Lloyd. There you go. There you go. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, great, great, great. All right, so we're going to take a few calls. Let me give the call-in number right now. The number is 347 745 6828. That's 347 745 6828. You can talk to myself or Lloyd Strayhorn. I'm going to punch in the number right now. That's 347 745 6828. See people calling in already. 28. All right. You know what I'm saying? Yes. Greetings, production. King Simon, turn down your radio, turn down your speaker if you want to talk to us. Turn down your speaker. Yes, greetings.
Greetings. Greetings, King Simon.
How are you? And Lloyd Strayhorn.
Yes, Mr. Strayhorn. I just ordered both of your books and got them today, so I'm very excited.
Oh, wonderful.
Very, very good. What's your birthday?
What's your birthday?
My birthday is May 20th, 1972.
May 20th, 1972.
And today happens to be the 20th.
Yes, isn't that? And she got through first.
Yep, the first one. Very, very good.
Go ahead, say something about it, Lloyd, please.
Well, you would be a borderline case that has nothing to do with your mental state of mind that Simon and I was just talking about. Borderline, that people born around the 20th, 21st, 22nd are what is known as cusping, astrologically speaking, that Simon and I understand. It's another way of saying you got a foot in one sign you're about to leave, which is Taurus, and another foot you're about to step into, which is Gemini. So I found in my experience, Simon, when I meet people born like this young lady, and thank you, by the way, beautiful, for ordering the books. When you got people that are born around the 20th, 21st, 22nd, they'll study both signs. So I'll ask you this. When coming up, did you study Taurus and Gemini?
Yes, I have. You
See?
know, and I'm also mind that my moon is Virgo, so I'm studying all three.
See. So now in this case, since you sound you a little bit more up on it, what do you consider yourself at this point as an adult born on the 20th of May?
You heard that?
I didn't quite.
Did you?
get
Did, what
catch
he
it.
said? He said.
In other
What
words,
he said? What do you
she's now
consider
more of a
yourself?
Taurus or Gemini?
What do
I
you
say she's
consider
more of a
yourself
Taurus.
now?
I've always said that I'm a Taurus on the cusp of Gemini. That's what
Yes.
I've always.
Right. Well, then that's right. That's exactly right. And here's
Okay.
what it tells me about you. It tells me that you, numerically speaking, in my estimation, are a sweetie pie. You are a person of great sensitivity, strong will. You pay the greatest attention to details, but in your way, you're very emotional, sensitive, and definitely romantic when people get you on a good day, okay? You pay attention to things. You like to collect things. You would make one of the best cooks on the planet. You would do well in the service industry, industries related to health and healing, nursing, counseling, social work. You would do well in the food industry. You would do well in the mechanical, mathematical sciences, computers, technologies, and you do well paying attention to the little details when you need a hug twice a day.
I hope you got that, my sister. Thank you very much for calling. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. All right. This is what we're going to do, family. For those that called in, I'm just going to get your birthday and then we're going to tell you to hang up and listen to what Lloyd's answer is. Okay. So those that called, yes, yes, hello.
Hello?
Yeah, turn down your speaker first. Turn down your speaker so we don't get feedback. And all you have to do is say your birthday and then you can hang up and then listen to Lloyd's response. Okay.
Okay.
When is your birthday, sir?
11/29, 1965.
I can't hear you. Say it again. 11/29, 1965.
Yeah, 11/29, 1965.
All right. His birthday is 11/29, 1965. Please hang up and then listen to Lloyd's response. Thank you.
Well, it tells me, first of all, he's a Sagittarius 2 person being a fire sign with a water number. It also tells me he's been in his critical cycle because his birthday is literally right around the corner.
Right.
It also tells me that he's about to head into a year where he's in a position about to make some power moves since this year's been more reflective and soul searching for him. It indicates a lot of things may have come to the surface that he didn't know before, good, bad, or indifferent. It also tells me probably taking stock of himself in terms of what he plans to do and why he plans to do those things and why he's been doing them in the first place. He may have had the desire to get away from it all, to kind of be left alone, to kind of figure out himself and what he's doing. But he's about to make some power moves. But right now, this month of November is challenging since he's in a 9 personal month. And that indicates that something's coming to a head or to a close to him, especially the week of the 8th to the 14th, just last week. We had to bring something to a head or something came to an end or a close, or maybe a fulfillment of dreams. It does indicate though in the month of December, things open up for him. After his birthday is the time to make his move. And since Mercury's been retrograde, which goes direct today, although we're still gonna feel the ebb of it for the next couple of days, it means that we still should take it easy.
Yes. Yes, thank you very much, Lloyd. Thank you, sir. I hope you enjoyed that. Now, you can, like I said, you can call in. We're only going to do this for a few more. It is now 10:31. We've been in on together for at least an hour. Let me go to the phone lines. Please turn down.
Already, Simon?
Huh?
We've been on an hour already?
Yes, sir. Almost. Yes, an hour.
I've been enjoying this, man.
Turn down. Yeah, let me tell them to turn down their radio, turn down their speakers, and let's deal with it. Hello, greetings. Just tell us your birthday. Tell your birthday. Calm down, relax. Just give your birthday and then hang up and listen to what Lloyd have to say. What is your birthday, sir?
5/30/85.
5/30/85. Thank you very much, sir. Have a great evening.
Now, this person is an air sign with a fire number. That means he's very smart and engaging and very passionate and driven. And when you put those two combinations together, this guy has success written all over his birthday. All depending, again, on the environment. Love, lack of love, education, lack of education, desire or lack of desire, motivation or lack of motivation, but I always take the positive. Anytime you come to me, people say, Lloyd, just so you're always positive. Yeah, everybody knocks you. Everybody knows that. Tell me something else I don't know. So my mission, just like yours, is we always try to bring out the best in people because everybody knows the other stuff. So whoever this person is, whoever this guy is, he's ambitious. He don't look his age. He's always going to attract women from different cultures and much younger than himself. He would do well in government, religion, the arts. He would do well in the pharmaceutical business. He would do well in sales, anything of advertising. He's very creative. He'd do well in the arts. He would do well in music, painting, drama, photography. He would do well with children and animals. This guy has, and he's very popular. He's a natural flirt. And he's very ambitious. And it's hard for this guy to sneak around. People know this guy wherever he goes. That's why it would be hard for him to sneak around. He think he's sneaking off somewhere with his girlfriend over here, and he meets somebody in a gift shop there. You know what I'm saying? He's got that kind of life. He should learn a second language too. It's a very bright guy. He can be funny when he wants to, and very ambitious, and he has to be careful of addictions.
Right.
That's his challenge.
Right.
Too much Haagen-Dazs ice cream or too much sex, drugs, or addictions, all depending on which road he decides to take.
Okay, let me go back. Let me go to the phone lines again. Hold on, people. Before I go to the phone line, let me go. Let me give you the rules. Let me give you the rules. You know, I'm a number one, so I need to make sure everything is right. I ain't into the overload of the numbers calling, please. There's people just calling crazy. So it's all good. It's all good. But I'm gonna show y'all how to do it, how we do it on radio back in the day. I'm screening my calls.
Yes, that used to be very important back in the day.
Exactly. So please listen very carefully what I have to say. You're going to call in, you're going to just say your birthday, and then I'm going to hang up so you can listen to what Lloyd has to say, because first of all, it has a delay, and then third of all, if I leave you on, there's a feedback. So please, I'm going to listen to somebody right now. Yes, good day. This is King Simon. Hello.
Hi, my birthday is October 13th, 1982.
1982, October 13, 1982. Let her hang up, and we're going to keep it moving. Go ahead, my brother.
She's born the same day as Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez. That's her birthday.
Yes, right.
And
also Tisha Campbell.
She too, AOC, would exhibit a very unique style to her way of doing things. Sensitive, independent, probably out on her own between her 19th and 22nd birthday. A person that's always been out of step with the norm, but not so much out of step as so much visionary in her whole presentation and outlook on life. But her challenge is it takes people time to catch up with her when she says or do things, and that's her only challenge. The year that she's about to enter will be a year of dreams come true. This year should have been a year of achievement, somewhat just like AOC. She entered the Congress on, and by the way, her room number adds up to 13, Ocasio-Cortez room, and down there at the Congress. So she herself may have had some level of achievement and recognition, especially back in February, especially back this month of November is very achievement month for her. And as we're wrapping up the month, it indicates she's probably trying to rearrange her home or relationship matters or something at the workplace that requires a little patience, understanding on her part.
All right, good. We're going to take probably two more, keeping it connected with his number 7. I'm going to take 2 more. Let's go to the phone lines. Turn down your radio, turn down your speaker. Just give me your birthday and then listen to Lloyd as I hang up. Yes, greetings. What is your birthday?
August 10th, 1977.
That's August 10th, 1977. Thank you very much. Hang up and we'll listen to Lloyd. Go ahead.
She is a woman that when young was old, and as she's got older, she's becoming younger. Not only are her looks, but also the relationships in terms of the men that she attracts in her life. So if she finds that younger men approach her, or she's been involved with a younger man, it wouldn't surprise me in the least. She's the kind of person that is more career-oriented than domestic-oriented, which means that if a guy meets with her, and especially if she's attractive too, and he think his role is to domesticate or dominate her, he's going to be in for a rude awakening. Trust me. It might be fun in the beginning, but she's going to be rebelling. She's our entrepreneurial spirit. This year is going to favor her too, because the year coming up for you and I for 2020 are Aquarians and Leos and Geminis. Those are the 3 signs that will go to the head of the class primarily.
Mm. Let me go to the phone lines again. Lloyd.
2266.
72266. Thank you very much. Have a good evening. Listen to Lloyd. 72266. Go ahead, brother.
This person is about to go through a change in their personal life. They're about to enter, numerically speaking, a 6 personal year. When I took 7 plus 4 plus 4, that adds to 15, and 1 plus 5 is 6. That means this person has got to be prepared to make some adjustments. They're going to make some adjustments in their relationships, in their home, in their health, in their environment. If they're serious about losing weight or a pound or two, that will be to their benefit. They're also about to go into some form of compensation. Now, depending on their relationship status, if they're without somebody, that will change. If they're with somebody, it might move to the next level. But if they're in a relationship that's been a pain in the you know what, more than likely it's going to go south before the summer.
Okay, we're gonna take one more, and then we out of here. One more, so you can call in right now at 347-745-6828. That's 347-745-6828. You can call in one more right now, and we're keeping it moving just like that. Okay, the phone is ringing, Lloyd. Let me go to the phone line. This is the last one. You must be a lucky person. Greetings, friends. Please turn down your speaker, and please give me your birthday, and then hang up and listen to Lloyd. What is your birthday?
April 22nd, 1980.
April 22nd, what?
1980.
1980?
Yes.
Okay, 1980. That's April 22nd, 1980. Thank you very much. That's April 22nd.
You know what? That to me, because 4, don't forget, I told you 4 is the number of communications, right?
Yeah.
Well, Kathy Hughes, that owned Radio 1, Radio TV, is born on April 22nd.
Wow.
Then you have the guy named
Byron
Cole, also born on April 22nd. Now,
the guy, even Byron, that's doing that's suing Comcast, born April 22nd.
Yeah, he's fighting Comcast, but see, Comcast owns MSNBC, all those stuff. He owns the Weather Channel. You got to understand this. He bought the Weather Channel for over $300 million. What I'm trying to tell this sister is how dynamic her potentials are to be too. Exactly. That's the long story.
Exactly.
You may say, well, brother, I'm here for me. I'm trying to tell you about your potentials, okay? That if Kathy Hughes is Black that can do that, Byron, who can do what he's doing, you can at your level, no matter how small, large, or humble it may be. And what happens is I try to explain to people, we're so busy looking in other people's backyards. We need to start looking at our own backyard. Many of us have potentials. We got to believe in ourselves. But we're so distracted looking over here, so distracted looking over there, that we miss those things that potentially we have within ourselves. And this sister, whoever she is, hear me clearly, you are divinely special. Plus, she's going into the year of the 22. The last call, if you notice, about 3 or 4 people calling.
Was like 22.
Tonight, we're born on the 22.
Exactly.
So that makes all the sense in the world that we're talking about this 22 energy.
And that is so interesting. And it's going to be one of their good years if they
Exactly. So this is off to a very good start. Little does she know.
And especially if they operate on a higher vibration of that 22.
Yep. That's it.
And that could be an issue. I tell people a lot of times, they got to protect themselves. They got to protect their very spiritual being, their essence at all times, man. Because this ain't no joke what we do, Lloyd. We try very hard to give this love and show this love from our interpretation. And I tell people, numbers ain't bad. It's not good. It's just the interpretation might give you highs and lows.
And that's what takes the time. See, you and I know we can teach numerology to a basic person in a day. We've done that in a workshop situation.
Exactly.
But it is the experience, the art of interpretation. A person can see a number 6, and we can get 20 people seeing it 20 different ways. One will say love, one will say divorce, one will say marriage, one will say pregnancy, one will say the home, one will say this, one will say that. And they're all correct. but it's how do you interpret it in the person in front of you in the moment.
Right, right, right.
That is an art. That's a fine art.
Now, one more last thing, Lloyd, before I let you go to rest. I mean, get some sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when people see numbers like 777 or a lot of sevens or on a constant or the 1111, what do you say about the angel numbers and those repeated numbers that keep on coming back?
You know, it's interesting. I've got a magazine
Mhm.
from my distributor. They've got a book coming out now called Angel Numbers by the Sky.
Mhm.
And angel numbers, this is a term that's come of late. It's like now the word they don't use is soulmate as so much as twin flame.
Mhm.
These to me are new age kind of definitions to things. But we've all seen numbers.
Right.
We're just, because of numerology and because numbers invade our lives now, we're more conscious to them. But
Right.
we've all seen numbers. We are just now more aware of these. And what it does is this, because don't forget, you opened up this show starting about the subconscious mind.
Yes. Yes.
And this is exactly what we're doing. Why is it you can get up and look at a clock and it always seems to be that number?
Mm.
More than likely, it might be your number. I
Right.
tend to either see 1204, you know, something, always a 7, but I'm a 7. So it doesn't surprise me that when
Right.
I look at something, like for example, I look and it says 1242, okay,
Mhm.
a 7.
Right.
So these kinds of things tend to happen. And what it's telling you is your consciousness, you're being aware of something. What people don't know about these angel numbers that you and I do that they need to consult like ourselves
Mhm.
is how to interpret these angel numbers. What do they mean? What do that mean when I always see 333 or whatever the case of that number? Because these threes are composed of ones.
Mhm.
They're all fire numbers. 3 is a fire number. So it means, is that person taking the initiative? They feel like they got this energy, this drive where they want to move forward, being more independent, their career, because 3
Mhm.
is a career number. You know, it can be interpreted, but see, that's why they come to us, because that is our profession. This is what we do to help them interpret what they see.
Right. Well, my brother, thank you so much, Lloyd, for joining
Man.
me on Zoom. And
You know, I
uh,
enjoyed you, Simon. You my
yeah,
man.
yeah, look out for our new book coming soon.
Yeah, we talked about that. We're gonna make that happen.
We're gonna make it happen. We're not
That's
gonna
gonna
say much.
be serious.
Yeah, no, we're not gonna say much, but when two of us come together, oh my goodness, from our
That's right.
own interpretation of our own life's experience with numbers, because like I've told people on different stations and different platforms, to know that something is a science, it has to be measurable, it has to be observable, and it has to be repeatable. That's
Yeah,
what numbers have shown us
yeah,
throughout
yeah.
the
It's
years.
consistent. I've done this too many times and too many decades, brother, to know this stuff works. That's all I'm
Exactly.
saying.
And,
Okay.
and step up those likes, man. Press them like buttons. I'm gonna put back in the description. I'm gonna put in the chat right now,
Oh
family.
yeah, and those who called in, those who pressed like, I really, really appreciate you joining in with us. And I enjoyed running my mouth with you, Simon. It's always a fun and a pleasure talking to you.
And I'm gonna put your number, your 1-800 number back on if people want to
Thank
contact
you.
Lloyd.
Thank you. Or my website, whichever one.
And
Oh,
his
also let them know they can reach me on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter.
right. What is the Instagram, real quick?
Instagram is Numbers in You. Twitter is Numbers in You. Facebook is Numbers in You. Duh.
Okay. Numbers in you and everything. That's right.
Yeah. Or Lloyd Strayhorn is either one or the other. That's it. Thank you.
Well,
Love you
and
much,
what's your,
man. Thank you, Simon. You
thank
take
you.
care,
Thank
buddy.
you. You know how to click out, right? You know how to click out for yourself?
I
Just
don't have a
end your
clue. I ain't worried about it. I'll be out in a moment. Okay.
no problem. Just click out on your own Zoom and you'll be all right. Okay.
Okay, good. Take care, buddy.
Thank you, brother. Thank you very
Okay,
much.
thank you.
All right. That was our brother Lloyd Strayhorn. His 800 number is 800-581-4401. That's 581-4401. And please, please make sure you show love to the great elder that's been doing it for a long, long time. And believe me, he's very good. He's so He's so radio station polished. He's been on Oprah. He's been on Katie Couric. He's been on Oprah 3 times back in the early days with Oprah. He's been on Katie Couric. He's been on all major radio stations, whether live in studio or across on the phone lines. But Lloyd Strayhorn is one of those brothers that they call when they want to do things for Valentine's Day, when they want to do New Year updates, because he has proven beyond the shadow of a doubt that numerology or astronumerology really works to help reveal certain things about people and reveal who and what they are. So you can go to his website. That's lloyd.strayhorn.com. That's lloyd.strayhorn.com. And if you want to do a Numerovation session with me, you're more than welcome to text me your full name and date of birth to 347-496-1022. My brand of numerology is to motivate you with the numbers connecting to your birthday. I am the owner and operator of that name. I own it. I already trademarked it. It's already mine. Got the websites. All that stuff is mine. You can Google it. Go straight to me. I can fight it in the court of law. Put it like that. In other words, so it's very important that you understand that we teach classes. I will be teaching online classes. Lloyd, if you go to his website, it will point you to his online classes. I will be teaching online how to do it from a simple perspective so you can do it for yourself. It's not that hard, but if you plan on being like us, it's going to take study because, as we know, numbers are infinite. Although it has the same patterns from 0 to 9, that infinite amount of information and numbers can keep on going and 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 going. So please bear witness of what's going on. Once again, make sure you get his pristine book. Numbers and You is his book right here. This is the Numbers and You book. Make sure you get that. That is one of it. And don't forget, my book is Numbers Are Simple, but People Are Complicated. Numbers are simple, people are complicated. That's our book. My children's book, Numbers Are Simple, Our Children's Health is Important. Numbers are simple, our children's health is important. And don't forget, no promotion is bad promotion. All publicity is good publicity. Just spell my name right. Look, thank all of you 88 to like 90 people that came on. Thank you for showing your love and showing your support. I'm going to end with my song, You Only Have One Life to Live, because I wrote that song because I realized that we got to make the best of the life that we're in until we either come back again or go to another realm. Wherever we're going to go with it, it is what it is. So I'm going to play that song. I'm out of here. I love you, regardless of land, label, or language. There's but one creator. I love and respect you. Peace. And we out of here. We only have one life to live. We only have one life to live. We only have one life to live. And we are living. No feelings, time on negative vibes. Cause you won't make it, no matter what they say. Always try to live a positive life anyway. We only have one life to live. And we are the living. Don't even strive on negative vibes. Cause you won't make it, no matter what they say. We should always try.